Hi everyone, and welcome to today's yoga class. We will be going over a sequence with poses aimed to help reduce stress and anxiety. So we're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. And you can either soften your gaze looking upwards between the brows to that third eye point, or you can close the eyes and look there. You're going to bring the right hand, peace fingers coming to that center spot between the brows, and then closing the right nostril with the thumb. Take an inhale through the left nostril, closing the left nostril with the fourth finger, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Switching, exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Switching, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. And continue alternating here. Moving at a pace that feels right for your breath today, fully inhaling, fully exhaling. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes. Going long through the spine. Continue focusing on the breath here, focusing on each inhale and each exhale. Noticing the sensation of the breath. Maybe observing what happens to the mind as you focus in here. Getting more present with yourself in this moment. Allowing the shoulders to relax down the back body. Just one more minute here. And ending with an exhale through that left nostril. Releasing the hands, keep your eyes closed. Resting the hands on the knees or the lap. And taking a few full breaths here, noticing what's happened to the breath between now and the beginning of this practice. Maybe finding a little bit more fluidity, a little bit more ability to inhale and exhale fully. And from where you are, coming into a butterfly pose. Keeping the heels slightly away from the body rather than into the body. So we're going to focus on resting forward. If you notice as you round forward, there's any pain on the outside of the legs in an uncomfortable way, then keeping the heels a little bit closer in here. So taking a deep inhale, and on your exhale, begin to round forward. Maybe palms coming face up in front of the legs, or maybe cupping the arms under the legs, holding onto those feet. Whatever feels good for you here. Unclenching the jaw, letting the head and neck rest down completely, hanging heavy. Breathing into that back body. On your next inhale, begin to walk those hands back in, slowly rolling the spine back up, head and neck homeoplast. And then recrossing the legs here, coming into a seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, opening the belly and the chest forward, shoulders back, looking up. Taking a nice big breath. And exhale as you tuck the tailbone, creating space between the shoulders, chin to chest. Inhale to the front of the body, opening up, softening the belly. And exhale completely. Continue alternating here at the pace of your breath. If you'd like, creating a little bit of a circular motion with those cat-cows. If you like, including the head and neck in that movement. And changing direction if you're working in a circle here. Taking a few more cat-cows. Next time you come up, coming back to a neutral spine, making your way onto all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips. And then walking that left palm slightly forward. Inhaling the right arm up to the ceiling, twisting open. And then exhale, sliding that right arm all the way through the left. Coming down to the shoulder if you can, palm facing up. And resting the right cheek on the mat. You'd like extending that left arm forward. Releasing that upper back and the shoulders. Ready, left hand coming back in, pressing into that palm. Inhaling, right arm all the way back up to the ceiling. And exhale, release. Walking that right palm one hand distance forward. Inhaling, left arm to the ceiling. And exhale, threading that arm through if you can, coming all the way down to the shoulder. Resting left cheek on the mat. Maybe reaching right arm forward, palm down, or reaching through the fingertips here. Taking full breaths. Opening up through that shoulder, upper back. So ready, you're walking right hand back in, pressing into the palm as you inhale, left arm back to the ceiling. And exhale, release. Walking arms slightly forward, coming into our first downward facing dog. If you'd like, taking a wider stance with those feet. And holding it here for several breaths. If you like, pedaling out those feet. Noticing all of the construction outside. I find it ironic that that's happening filming this class. I'm going to take that as a message that sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, anxious. There can be a lot of thoughts going on, whether that's internal or external busyness, noisiness. And I invite you to try to find the stillness, find the peace and the silence inside. To allow that mental or external chatter and noisiness to invite you deeper into the breath, bringing your awareness there. Your next inhale, looking towards the hands, taking your time, walking to the top of the mat, and coming into a forward fold, feet hip distance, or if you'd like, slightly wider. Letting those arms hang heavy, keeping a bend through those knees, chest resting towards the thighs, so bending the knees as much as you need to. Maybe holding your opposite elbow here. Gently rocking that head, yes and no, relaxing it down. Unclenching those toes, softening the face. If you'd like, taking a gentle rock side to side. Releasing those arms, taking a deeper bend through the knees, and really slowly rolling the spine up here, one vertebrae at a time. Really taking your time here, head and neck coming up last. As you come up, rolling shoulders back and down, and coming into mountain pose. Maybe lifting and spreading the toes here, grounding through the feet. Finding length through the body, slightly tucking the tailbone, core engaged. Shoulders down the back. Notice any urges to move forward with the practice or move faster. Allow yourself to be here, to settle into each pose for a few breaths. Observing any subtle sensations, any swaying, any discomfort, any length. As you're ready on an inhale, arms reaching up overhead. Exhale, palms together in front of the chest. And stepping that left foot back, bringing it parallel to the mat. Front heel in line with the back arch. Coming into a triangle pose, extending front leg, arms reaching out. Kicking the hips back. Inhale as you reach forward. And then exhale, tipping over. Stacking the shoulders. You can tucking chin to look up towards that top arm. If you need to, looking down to the ground for stability. Continue pressing into those feet, engaging side body, lifting up. If you notice any tension in your neck, you can also look down to the mat. That's happening for me on this side. On your next inhale, leading with top arm, coming up into warrior two, bending front knee over the ankle. Checking in, both arms at shoulder height, reaching through the fingertips. Pressing firmly into those legs, reaching to either side of the mat. Gazing past those front fingertips. On your next exhale, right hand is coming down to the mat slightly ahead of that right foot, coming into a half moon. So shortening your stance here. Right hand slightly ahead and slightly to the right of that front foot. Left hand to the hip, pressing through that right foot, lengthening the leg, opening the hip here, stacking the hips, left foot flexed, pressing through both feet, and then maybe reaching left arm to the ceiling. You can also use a block or a book here if you can't quite reach. Pressing firmly through both legs. Again, allowing the noise, whether that's internal chatter or the noise externally, invite you deeper into the breath, into the body, into the present moment. As you're ready, left hand coming back to that hip, stepping the foot back, coming through warrior two, and coming up into a wide-legged position. Toes slightly in, heels out. Inhaling to find length. And hands to the hip crease here. Exhale, folding forward, wide-legged forward fold. Crown of the head reaching towards the mat. Then you can either walk hands back behind you here, if you'd like, holding on to either side of the legs. Allowing the head and neck to hang heavy. Pressing into the balls of the feet just below the big toe joints. The mound there to find length through the back of the legs. Coming deeper into the fold. Body releases more if the hands are on the legs. You could also bring peace fingers around that big toe. Thumb to the top of the toe. Bending the elbows, assisting yourself forward here. And inhale, finding length through the spine. Hands to the center of the mat. And then heel toe the feet a little bit closer in. This time toes out, heels in. Hands coming to the inner thighs, coming into a shoulder stretch here. So pressing the hands into the thighs to open the hips. And then exhale the left shoulder forward, looking over the right shoulder. Taking a few full breaths here. On an inhale, coming through center. Exhaling, right shoulder forward, looking over the left. And inhale back through center, hands to the hips, coming up. And then shifting onto your opposite side here. So right foot is parallel to the mat, left heel in line with that arch of the foot. Coming into our triangle pose. Arms reaching out at shoulder height, kicking the hips back, reaching forward. And exhale, tipping over into triangle pose. Either looking to the mat for stability, or if there's tension through that neck, or looking up past that top hand. Holding it here for several breaths. Looking back down to the mat, leading with that top arm. Inhaling up, bending through the front knee into warrior two. Maybe coming deeper into that lunge. Checking in with the arms at shoulder height. Checking in with that front knee. Opening up the hip to still see that big toe if you can. And then gazing past the left fingertips. Pressing feet to either side of the mat. Taking steady, full breaths here. On an exhale, as you're ready, transitioning into half moon. So if you'd like, shortening your stance here. The left hand coming slightly ahead of that left foot and over to the left. Pressing through the foot to extend the leg. Opening that right hip, flexing the foot. And then reaching that hand towards the ceiling. As you're ready, placing that right foot back down. Inhale all the way up, extending both legs. Once again, coming into a wide-legged forward fold, so heel toe those feet apart if you need to. Toes slightly in, heels out. This time, if you'd like, interlacing fingers behind the back body. Inhale as you hug palms together, chest lifting. And exhale, folding forward. Reaching those arms back behind you. As you're ready, releasing those arms, bending length through the spine as you walk hands slightly forward. And then walking hands towards the top of your mat, stepping all the way forward here into a forward fold. Once again, rolling that spine up, taking your time, head and neck coming up last. Rolling shoulders back and down. And then widening your stance here, coming into our Yogi Squat. So toes slightly pointed out, heels in, feet about shoulder distance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms coming together in front of the chest as you sink down into your squat. Arms to the insides of the legs. If you need to, widening your stance, creating space here. Chest opening towards the hands. Releasing tailbone down towards the mat. Notice if there's any muscles through your hips that you're clenching here. For the next 2 breaths, allowing yourself to soften a little bit more. As you're ready, carefully releasing out of this pose. And preparing for Shavasana. So if you'd like, taking any other movements here, maybe windshield wipering the legs, taking a twist, anything else that you feel you need to release any tension through the body. And making your way into your Shavasana pose. Arms by your sides, palms face up. Allowing the eyes to close. On your next inhale, picturing the number 3. As you exhale, watching the 3 dissolve, allowing the body to rest a little bit deeper into the mat beneath you. Feeling completely supported here. On your next inhale, picturing the number 2. As you exhale, watching the 2 dissolve, allowing the face to relax. Unclenching the jaw, keeping the mouth together. Eyelids becoming heavy. Resting the space between the brow. On your next inhale, picturing the number 1. As you exhale, watching the 1 dissolve, allowing the mind to settle back down. Giving yourself these next few moments time to relax. Settling into the space that you created for yourself. You can stay here as long as you'd like. You can end this practice, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, preparing for movement here. Inhaling the right arm overhead, bending the knees, and rolling onto your side, using the arm as a pillow for a few more moments. You're ready, using that left hand to press you back up, coming into a comfortable seated position. We're going to end this class with one chant of Om. So on your inhale, inhaling, arms overhead, and exhale, palms together, sealing in your practice. Namaste.